This hearing of the Ethics Committee of the New York State Bar is now in session. Case number 1124, line B, applicant Michael James Ross.
Mr. Rose, you are here today to request an admission to the bar with a formal law degree and limited equivalent legal experience. However, there are serious offenses that this court cannot overlook, specifically your fraudulent action in practicing law without a license. And this court is obligated to examine not just your qualification, but the integrity of your character.
Exactly, Your Honors. Mr. Ross didn't just skirt the rules, he obliterated them. He operated without credentials in one of the most respected professions, defrauding clients and the legal system. His actions were not mistakes, they were deliberate. He committed fraud on an immense scale. The fact that he's standing here seeking to rejoin the profession is frankly generous.
I'm not here for generosity, Mr. Gibbs. I'm here for justice. I have made mistakes and I have lived with the guilt. I have served with my time, but also worked to earn my way back. I'm not asking for a favor, just a fair evaluation of the man I am today. A man who changed, who's learned, who's done the work.
Mr. Ross, do you believe that the ends justify the means? That saving clients and achieving successful outcomes justify lying to this court? Do you justify your actions on the ground of good intentions?
No, I don't, and I never will again. But if we believe in the law ability to rehabilitate, to allow the growth, then certainly we must accept that someone can change. I have put my work, I have made my amends, and now I am asking to this bar to look for that full picture. I didn't start out as a criminal. I started as someone who thought he could fix the system. But I see now I was wrong.
And yet you still speak like a performer. Who's to say this isn't just another audition for sympathy? A grandstanding attempt to manipulate this court with your charm. You've had a history of acting, Mr. Ross. Who's to say you haven't learned how to perform for an audience?
Because everything I have done since prison has been under scrutiny. My volunteer work, my mentorships, my record, I haven't hidden. I haven't run, and I sure as hell haven't used my past to manipulate anyone. I have worked to earn back the thing once took for granted, the trust. If you think I'm here to play games, you are mistaken.
Mr. Cliff, what does your record show?
According to the file, Mr. Ross has completed over 102,000 hours of pro bono legal aid. He's worked on cases involving civil rights litigation, criminal defense, and immigration clinics. He has received commendations from multiple legal non-profits, as well as community boards, for his service and contributions to the society.
Objection, Your Honor. I request to be heard.
This is not your floor, Mr. Sain. You will be removed from this room if you interrupt again.
I invoke Article 4, Section F16A of the Bar Ethics Code. It permits the bar intervention to introduce substantial testimony that could alter the court's judgment. And I believe this testimony is vital to understanding Mr. Roth's journey, his transformation.
That's an outrageous stunt. The witness isn't even present. You can just throw in last-minute testimony to manipulate the proceedings.
The witness is Julius Rowe, former director of the Federal Rehabilitation Center. He supervises Mr. Rowe's correctional programs during his time in federal prison. He observes this conduct daily, his integrity, his remorse. He can speak not only to Mr. Rose's legal promise, but to the man he's become since his conviction.
Is the clause in Mr. Sainz stated valid?
Yes, Your Honor. The article applies when invoked by a licensed attorney, and Mr. Sainz is indeed licensed.
This isn't a courtroom drama. We can't allow this to devolve into some moral spectacle where Mr. Ross is given a chance to have his redemption story told by anyone willing to testify. This is about facts, no emotions.
I'm not here for drama. I'm here because I believe people can be more than their worst mistake. Let someone who saw me at my lowest moment tell you whether I'm worth this second chance.
Justice must be firm, but it must also be just, and this hearing will be suspended for 48 hours. And this court will reconvene and hear Mr. Jolos Roberts' testimony. His statement may be pivotal in this case.
However, let the recorder reflect. Mr. Rowe's testimony fails to demonstrate a significant ethical transformation on Mr. Rowe's part. This petition for bar admission will be denied permanently.
This reconvened hearing of Ethics Committee, case number 1124, line B, is now in session. Witness testimony to the hear, Mr. Julius Rowe, former director of the Federal Rehabilitation Center.
Mr. Rowe, you understand you are under oath and that your testimony will directly influence the bar decisions on Mr. Rowe's eligibility for admission?
I understand, Your Honor.
Then proceed. What is your professional assessment on Mr. Rowe's moral and ethical rehabilitation?
I've worked in correction for 27 years. I've seen everything from manipulations to genuine transformations. I can say this without hesitation. Michael Ross didn't enter or facilitate as a criminal looking to exploit the system. He entered it as a man already reckoned with the gravity of his choice.
Director of Let's Not Romanticize. He wasn't some martyr. He committed fraud over several years. He lied to judges, manipulated clients, practiced law without a license. He made a mockery of our profession.
You're right, he did. But that's not where the story ends. He enrolled in every revelation course. We offered legal ethics, conflict resolution, restorative justice. But more than that, he created programs. He built a legal literacy workshop for low levels offenders, some of whom had never even seen a lawyer. He reduced conflict in your units by 40% through mediation work alone.
That is impressive, but actions can be performative. And did you see any remorse?
I saw something deeper. Mike did just regret what he did. He understood what it hurt every single day. He did just reflect on my consequences for my actions. He carried the burden of the clients he may have harmed. He asked to meet with victims of wrongful conviction just to understand what real legal failure looks like. I did mandate that he chose it.
All of that is commendable, but this isn't a question of character. It's a question of precedent. If we grant Mr. Ross admission, we signal that deception is remarkable, winning this profession that is negotiable.
May I respond to that, Your Honor?
You may.
I agree with Ms. Gibbs. What I did should never be excused. It was wrong. Now, no credentials, no justification, but the law is truly about justice and not just rules. Then it has to consider who a person becomes after their crime. It didn't just study law. I sacrificed for it. I have worked with clients no one else will take. I have made myself on the line for people to system overlooks. I didn't came here today to erase my past. I came here to prove that even someone who broke the law can honor it if they are willing. They earn back to the right.
The legal world loves to quote precedent, so here's one for the record. The law is not static. It evolves. We teach that to our students, but we forget it in these chambers. If you want a professional that values truth, then let truth include redemption.
Mr. Rowe, in your professional opinion, does Mr. Rose pose a future ethical risk to the bar?
No, if anything, he holds himself to a higher standard now than many practicing attorneys I've met.
Mr. Rose, do you have another witness to person?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to call someone who can speak to my work after my time in prison. A former client of mine, Mr. Carlos Hernandez.
Please state your name for the record.
Carlos Hernandez.
Mr. Hernandez, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Mr. Hernandez, please proceed. What is your relationship to Mr. Ross?
I mean, while I was incarcerated, I was serving time for a crime I didn't commit, and I had almost given up hope. But Mike came to me. He wasn't a lawyer, at least not in the traditional sense. He was just a man who believed I deserved a chance. He helped my get me conviction overturned. But I wasn't just about the legal work. It was the way he treated me. He listened. He treated me like a human being, not a criminal. That's something no one else did for me.
Mr. Hernandez, are you suggesting that Mr. Rose's actions in prison helped you secure a legal victory?
Not just helped, Your Honor. He saved me. He worked tirelessly on my case, even when the odds were stake against me. He wasn't trying to prove something about himself. He was trying to prove that someone like might deserve justice.
And you believe this reflects Mr. Ross' character?
I do. I'm not the only one. There are others he helped while he was in prison. He didn't just follow the rules. He changed the rules for people who thought they had no future.
Do you know the full extent of Mr. Ross Pryor's actions, the years of deception, manipulation, and fraud?
I know what he did. He paid the price. He does hide from it. But that man who helped it, we wasn't the same man. We broke the law. In my rules, I know. No, he's someone who's done everything he can to make right. What he did wrong?
Mr. Hernandez, thank you for your testimony, and it will be duly considered in our deliberations. Very well. Testimony has been entered into our court. This hearing is adjourned pending final derivation and rolling in be deliberated within 72 hours.
Thank you. I don't know if I deserve what you said, but I will try to live up to it.
You already have. Now let them see it do.
This hearing of the Ethics Committee of the New York State Bar, case number 1124, line B, is now reconvened for final deliberation and ruling.
This committee has reviewed all submitted materials, testimony, and ethical arguments. We do not take our responsibility lightly. Mr. Rose's actions were severe. He impersonated an attorney, bypassed the fundamental requirements of the professions, and undermined public trust in the justice system.
But the legal system also recognizes the possibility of redemption. This is not just about punishing the offender, but evaluating whether they have learned, where they have changed, where they are worthy of a second chance. And in this case, we must consider not only the original wrong, but everything Mr. Ross has done since.
Sorry. Okay. He has demonstrated legal competence and professional ethics in his recent cases, and a constant commitment to the truth, even in adverse situations. We also take into account the statements presented of his behalf and the results of the ethical evaluations.
There is no shortcut to trust, but this committee finds that Michael James Ross has genuinely walked that long road toward earning it.
Therefore, by majority vote, this committee grants Mr. Rose's petition for admission. You are heavily authorized to practice law in this state of New York.
Wow, thank you, Your Honors. I won't waste this opportunity.
Make sure you don't. This is not clean slate. Mr. Ross, it's second chance, and second chances are only justified if they are honored every single day.
Clerk, enter the ruling into the official record. This hearing is not adjourned.
You did it, Mike.
I didn't do it alone. Without you, without Julius, without Harvey or Donna, I will never have made this far.
What you did is wrong was harder than any legal argument. You showed who you really are, and that's worth more than any diploma.
I must admit, I never thought I'd be in a room hearing your approval to practice, but you made me doubt, and that, coming from me, is now a small thing.
Thank you, Miss Gibbs. I appreciate it more than you know.
Make it count for everyone who never had a second chance.
Are you ready to start over?
This time, for real.
Welcome to the practice of law, Mike.
Now we work the real change starts now.